Suppose that LWPython is executing an if statement and the test expression is false. Then LWPython increases the current line by 1, and the current tab stays the same to skip the if body. Also, LWPython records the test result in the control map. More precisely, if the Python state at time t is as follows, where line is I, tab is j, the expression stack contains an empty stack, the value stack contains false, and the control map is cm, and the statement at line I, tab j is if test, then at time t plus 1, the Python state is line is I plus 1, tab is j, the expression stack is empty, and the control map is the result of storing pair if false at key j in map cm. Since the if statement is in tab j, the if body statements are in tab j plus 1, but the current tab is still j. If a statement's tab number is greater than the current tab, then LWPS skips that statement. More precisely, if the Python state at time u is as follows, where line is I and tab is j, and there's a statement at line I and tab k, where k is greater than j, then at time u plus 1, the Python state is as follows, where line is I plus 1 and tab is j. Let's look at an example. If the Python state at time 5 is as follows, where line is 1, tab is 0, the expression stack contains an empty stack, the value stack contains false, and the control map is empty, and the statement at line 1, tab 0 is if 1 equals 3, then we can conclude that at time 5 plus 1, the Python state is as follows. Line is 1 plus 1, tab is 0, the expression stack is empty, and the control map is the result of storing pair if false at key 0 in an empty map. We know that the result of storing pair if false at key 0 in an empty map is equal to the map with entry 0 and pair if false. Thus we can conclude that at time 6, the Python state is as follows. Line is 2, tab is 0, the expression stack is empty, and the control map has one entry, 0, and pair if false. Now suppose that the program contains the following statement at line 2, tab 1. The tab number of the statement, 1, is greater than the current tab, 0. So we conclude that at time 6 plus 1, or 7, the Python state is now as follows. Line is 2 plus 1, or 3, tab is 0, the expression stack is empty, and the control map has one entry, 0, and pair if false. As we can see, rather than executing the statement at line 2, tab 1, Python moves on to line 3. Next, suppose that the program contains the following statement at line 3, tab 1. This statement is also part of the if body. The tab number of the statement, 1, is again greater than the current tab, 0. So we conclude that at time 7 plus 1, or 8, line is 3 plus 1, or 4, tab is 0, the expression stack is empty, and the control map still has one entry, 0, and pair if false. Finally, suppose that the program contains the following statement at line 4, tab 0, c is equal to 9. The tab number of this statement, 0, is equal to the tab number of the if statement. Thus, this statement is outside of the if body. In general, a body of code ends when we encounter a statement whose tab number is less than or equal to the parent statement tab number. The tab number of this statement is also equal to the current tab. Thus, Python is going to execute this assignment statement. At time 8 plus 1, or 9, line is 4, tab is 0, the expression stack contains the expression 9, the value stack is initialized, and the control map still contains one entry, 0, and pair if false. Finally, at time 11, the line is 5, tab is still 0, The expression stack is empty. The control map still contains the entry 0 and pair if false, and the variables map now contains an entry C9. Let's try running the example in the simulator to see what happens when the if statement test is false. Since 1 is not equal to 3, we expect this test to be false. Since the test is false, Python is going to skip lines 2 and 3 by keeping the current tab at 0. The current line is now 4 and the current tab is still 0. There is a statement c equals 9 at line 4 tab 0, so Python is going to execute this statement.